say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may all be seated. Before we begin, I would like to recognize some folks. We have Joseph Bradley, the Senate President, Matt Wilhelm, the House Minority Leader.
He's right here.
Ah, there you go. So, Stan Schuster, the State Representative from the Concord area, yes?
Yes.
There we go. I'm a Massachusetts boy. It's taken me a little while to get up to speed on New Hampshire politics and who's who and who's what. Deputy Secretary of State Erin Hennessy. Deputy Secretary of State Patty Lovejoy. James Bundy from Senator Custer's office. Rose Marczurka. I'm sorry. Maraska from Senator Shaheen's office, and Allison Montagne from Senator Hassen's office. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Byron Chaplin. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's a great honor and privilege to be asked to welcome you today. I can welcome you in a lot of different ways. I can welcome you as the mayor of Concord to this event in Concord. How many of you do any of you live in Concord?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. When you come here, vote for me. It's their greatest privilege. But welcome to this institution. I was mentioning earlier, I've done research in this building. It's a great facility that the state maintains to keep track of our history. And as I stand here to welcome you today, I think about my many ancestors who came from away, who came like you, many of you, from somewhere else, and who decided to make their lives here. I, in particular, think about my great-great-grandparents on my father's side, the Rousseaus, who came here from Quebec, who settled in Pawcatuck, Connecticut, where my great-grandmother, Emma Brooks Dady, was born. Their names were Rousseau. They changed it to Brooks so that they would be more English, but I'm very proud of my French-Canadian heritage. So never, ever, as you become Americans, lose the desire to pass down to your children their heritage from your native countries. Thank you. You give me applause and I decide to leave the stage. Which is a good technique. But I'm very proud to introduce the state archivist, Ashley Miller.
Good morning. It is a pleasure for me to be here with you today, and it is an honor for me to say a few words of welcome as we begin this ceremony. Welcome to the New Hampshire State Archives. This building and places like it document our history, our rights, our stories. As you build your life in your new home, so too will your own stories be preserved here for future generations to learn from. You are an impressive group, hailing from 18 countries, and I am absolutely delighted that this group includes one of our very own archive staff members. First and foremost, congratulations. You are all about to join the great experiment that is the United States of America. We are a nation of immigrants, bound together by the notions of our forefathers. The first immigrants were refugees escaping religious persecution. They left the lives, homes, land, family, and friends they knew to start again in the New World. Facing a treacherous transatlantic voyage, starvation, disease, and unimaginable trials, they persevered, establishing the foundation of these United States. It was immigrants who built our skyscrapers, railroads, cities, and farms. 8 signers of the Declaration of Independence were immigrants themselves, including New Hampshire's own Matthew Thornton. When the country was founded on the principles of liberty and freedom nearly 250 years ago, many of us in this room were excluded from those rights. Native Americans, who originally occupied this great land, women, and people of color were not granted the same rights as white landowning men. Acknowledging that their work was not complete, our forefathers bestowed upon us the heavy task to form a more perfect union. With each passage of time, we make more and more strides towards that mission. In this land of opportunity, so too will you be granted the responsibility to create positive change. The oath you are about to take today should not be taken lightly, as years from now, future generations will be looking at the work we've done to push that needle forward. You are all here to continue the work of this great nation. You are all part of that mission now. It is now my pleasure to introduce Secretary of State David Scanlon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. So, Governor Sununu, Senator Hassen, Mayor Champlin, and especially all of you new Americans, it is a privilege for me to welcome you to the archives for this really exciting event. And I'm privileged to be able to share in that excitement. Before I start, I want to recognize Senator Gray from Rochester just came in, and he might be one of your senators. This building has special significance in the formation of our country. And if you take a look at the wall over there, there's a quote from William Plummer about the importance of records and maintaining them. William Plummer was one of the early governors of the state of New Hampshire, but more importantly, he was also one of the founding members of the National Archives, which is where all of our important documents are held. This building, the State Archives, was built long after he was governor and passed away, but I think he would appreciate the significance of what we have here in terms of our records. The most important one is the ratification document to the United States Constitution. New Hampshire was the 9th state at the time to ratify the Constitution, and it required 9 states to pass the Constitution and make us the United States of America. And so that document is in this building. There's a great facsimile in the hall, and I hope at some point when that document goes on public display that you will take the opportunity to come and take a look at it. It is very impressive, what our forefathers accomplished at that time. I hope that the first act you take as a new American will be to register to vote. It is your voice in democracy. It is very powerful. Your vote is very powerful. It is no less or no more important than any other citizen of the United States of America. It doesn't matter how wealthy a person is, how educated, how strong they are physically. It doesn't matter what your lineage is. We have no royalty in this country. Your vote is equal to everyone else in this room, and I hope that you will exercise it. That response to that vote also comes with a great deal of responsibility. It is important to be informed of the candidates and the issues that are on the ballot, because those are the people that are going to represent you in government. And so you want to make sure that you are selecting individuals that are going to do what you believe is the best course for this country. And so I would encourage you to take that role seriously, and I hope you exercise it this fall. We have elections coming up in September and a presidential election in November. And I certainly hope that every one of you will participate in that process. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be a candidate yourself. And I think that would be great as well. My office is available to assist you in the registration process. We have informational materials that are available to help work you through that. And the people in my office are very friendly. So if you have any questions at all, make sure you pick up the phone and give us a call, and we will help you out as best we can. So with that, I think it's time to call the roll, right? Call of Nations?
Yep. It is my pleasure to welcome Officer Kathleen Gagnon to the front, and she will read the Call of Nations.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Gagnon, and I'm proud to represent the Department of Homeland Security, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, Manchester Field Office. So, applicants for citizenship, as I read your country of nationality, please stand and remain standing. Brazil, Colombia, Côte d'Ivoire, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Jamaica, Mexico, Nepal, Peru, Philippines, Romania, Russia, Sudan, Syria, Turkey, Uganda, and the United Kingdom. Mr. Forte, there are 24 applicants for naturalization present today. Each applicant has been examined under the provisions of the Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1952 as amended. Each applicant has been found well qualified for citizenship. At this time, I respectfully ask that you administer the oath of allegiance to all 24 applicants, thus bestowing upon them our nation's highest honor, United States citizenship.
Thank you. Applicants for citizenship, if you could raise your right hands. Repeat after me, stating your name after the word I. I. Hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or of which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law. That I will perform works of national importance under civilian direction when required by law. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Thank you all. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Senator Maggie Hassen from the great state of New Hampshire. And to you, Senator Hassen, I present you 24 new United States citizens.
Thank you, Joe, for the introduction. Congratulations to all our new Americans, and to friends and family who are here supporting them. Thank you for everything you did, too, to support your loved ones in this effort. I also want to thank Ashley and the State Archives team for making today possible. It's good to be with Governor Sununu and Secretary Scanlon and Mayor Champlin and all of the other elected leaders and distinguished guests who have joined us today. And again, I just have to reiterate my congratulations to every one of you who has become a new citizen today. It is really a privilege to welcome you as new citizens of our great country. I hope that you are proud of all of the hard work that you did, because I know it took a lot of hard work for you to reach this moment. Today, as we celebrate you becoming citizens, I want to talk briefly about the responsibilities of citizenship in our democracy. America is truly the greatest nation on earth, and you couldn't have chosen a better state to make your home in than New Hampshire. As the Secretary of State noted, we were the 9th state to ratify the Constitution, so I always refer to us as the America Makers. We are a state that welcomes all people who wish to contribute their talent and energy to our economic and civic life. From our beginnings, both New Hampshire and our country have been made stronger by each successive generation of immigrants who have come to our shores and become citizens. Our success comes from welcoming the hard work, talents, and dreams of people from all parts of the globe: French Canadians, Irish, Greeks, Italians, Southeast Asians, Latinos, Bhutanese, Somalians, people of different cultures, backgrounds, languages, all united by a common hope for a better future for themselves and their country. I know becoming an American citizen took a lot of hard work and sacrifice. I commend each and every one of you for your dedication. You have now taken the oath to support and defend the Constitution of our remarkable country. Please do not take that responsibility lightly. Regardless of where you came from, the oath you just took grants you the full rights, liberties, and most importantly, responsibilities shared by all American citizens and Granite Staters. The future of our country depends on your continued commitment to those shared responsibilities, as it depends on that continued commitment by all Americans. Particularly for those of us who grew up in America, it can be easy to take our freedoms for granted, or to forget that in human history, freedom has been the exception, not the rule, and that democracy does not just endure on its own. As citizens, it is all of our responsibility to find ways to help our community and to help keep our democracy strong. It's no small task. As Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said, quote, "The most important political office is that of the private citizen." So yes, that means voting, but it also means being an informed citizen, speaking out and making your voice heard, and finding ways, great and small, to give back, to help the community, to find and build common ground, to make our country a better place. I see Granite Staters do this every day. Granite Staters like Morris Mayotte, a Korean War veteran who at the age of 90 led the effort to redesign Berlin's Veterans Memorial Park. He's 90 years old, 2 Purple Hearts. Maurice could have been satisfied, but he wasn't with his past achievements. He insisted that he had more to give. Or there are Granite Staters like Noelle, a lifelong athlete who was recruited to play Division I lacrosse. In her freshman year, Noelle was in a moped accident that severed her left leg. After she got a specialized prosthetic, she not only rebuilt her own life, she looked for ways to help others and started her own nonprofit to help other children and young adults walk again through prosthetics. These are just some of the ways that everyday citizens step up and do their part to keep our communities and our democracy strong. This citizen-led democracy was what our founders envisioned when they built this country. When our founders wrote our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution and the Bill of Rights, they wrote it knowing that it would fall on each successive generation to do their part to keep our democracy strong and to expand its promise to more and more Americans. They understood that our democracy, our country, is not a static thing. It's dynamic. With each passing year, with every new citizen, it's always changing. But the importance of freedom remains. The continued work of building a more perfect union is not finished, nor was it ever the job of any one leader. It is the task that belongs to all of us. There's a reason that all of you put in hours of hard work to become citizens. There's a reason that people even risk their lives to come here. And there's a reason that people living in faraway places still dream of one day doing what all of you are doing today. They do so not because America in practice is perfect, but because our promise always has been. Because the capacity for everyday Americans to do great things is real, because we're free, because the rule of law applies to us all equally, and because we work to bring out the best in each other. Because in America, in the world's greatest democracy, we set out to do something different, to be a country where everyone counts, where everyone is free to pursue their highest aspirations, and where people's tomorrows can always be better than their yesterdays. That's the promise of our Declaration of Independence, a promise supported and protected by our Constitution and Bill of Rights. So thank you all again. Congratulations on becoming citizens. I know that you will make all of us proud to call you our fellow Americans and will make your community and our country a better place. Thank you all. And now I get to introduce the 82nd governor of New Hampshire, who is also my neighbor in Newfields, New Hampshire, the Honorable Chris Sununu.
Senator, all right. Well, thank you, Senator. Newfields, New Hampshire is a bustling metropolis, and you should all consider moving to Newfields. No one's in Concord, though, yet, Mayor.
We have.
We'll work on it.
Welcome mat is up.
Okay, the welcome mat is up, which is great. So first and foremost, congratulations. This is absolutely awesome for the you 24 individuals. Not an easy process, right? You got to go through the process. Did you find the test difficult? The final test? No, not too bad. Okay, that's good. I'm always curious. So congratulations to you, and a big congratulations and a big thanks to all the families and all the friends and all the support. It's never easy to go through something like, something as transformational as becoming a citizen of this great country alone. So a big congratulations to the families as well, because it's exciting. I think I'm the last speaker, so that means I'm the guy in the way between you and a really big party, hopefully. You should have a big party. You should be celebrating. You should really be enjoying this, to be sure. I did want to, something that both the senator and the mayor brought up, which I think is really important. First and foremost is the idea of stories, right, and background. You all have these amazing stories. Everyone has an individual story. And in this country, when you say, well, where are you from? Very rarely do people say, oh, I'm from New Hampshire. Right? They talk about where their family is from, that's always part of the story, where they came over, because we truly are a nation of immigrants. And everyone has amazing stories and amazing backgrounds that lead into, what is becoming their story. My grandfather on one side was a police officer from a family of police officers in Ireland. And on the other side, one was he was a tour guide in Jerusalem, right? So it's like, how did those two come together? Who knows, right? It's amazing how families from all over the world come together in this great nation of ours. But now it's time for you to continue your story, right? What's it going to be? You're all young, right? You all have many decades ahead. We hope they're here in New Hampshire, by the way. We hope you stay in the live free or die state. As has been discussed, we do take a lot of pride in the fact that we were the 9th state to ratify that Constitution. As the senator said, we were the ones that really made America, right? We were the ones that made sure that this great experiment, and it is an experiment, it's always cooking, there's something always boiling here in the country, is continuing on. But it's always defined by its citizens. It's always defined by the individuals. And as much as we want to make sure you register to vote and participate in democracy, it's so, so important. At the end of the day, we're not defined by our elected officials. We're not defined by the leadership we choose. We're defined by the citizens that make up this great country. And one of the things we cherish very much here in New Hampshire is the idea, we call it local control. The individual comes first. The town is more important than the big government and all of that. And you all have an amazing opportunity to participate in that. And in 100 different ways, right? You could, maybe it starts with voting, right? And maybe some of you will run for office. That would be awesome. We try to make it really easy to run for office here. It takes like $20, make some posters at Kinko's, knock on a bunch of doors, and you can get elected to almost any office you want. You really can. It's actually, we really try to make it very available. But regardless of whether it's political office or not, find your thing. Like, everyone has a thing. Everyone has something that they can give. Some people decide to become school teachers to help their community, or a nurse, or they volunteer time at the food bank, or they find a nonprofit that they want to help out. So as much as you have your family, which is so important, you have your job and your career, which is very important, but you got to find a way to give back. And that's something that we do in New Hampshire, and we take a lot of pride in here, I think more than most anywhere else. And that's our secret sauce. Our secret success, again, doesn't happen with the government. It happens with what we do as individuals to benefit our communities. What is our thing that we're going to give back? And sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it takes a little time to figure it out. Sometimes we can give a little more at certain times. But at the end of the day, that local control, that local benefit, leaning on neighbor to neighbor, person to person, friend to friend, family member to family member, that's where we lean for the strongest supports, helps, and services to make sure that our pathway, that our story, right, our next version, our next chapter in our story is getting bigger and more brighter. And so we take a lot of excitement in that. Congratulations again. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I hope you have a great party. I hope you've earned it. You've worked really hard. Not an easy pathway. There's literally hundreds of millions of people across this planet that would do anything to be sitting where you are today. That's really, really exciting. So there's always opportunity out there. Let us know what we can do. We try not to be the government that says, we're here to punish, we're here to penalize, we try to be a government that says, how can we help? How can we help? We just want to open up some doors, open up some opportunities, open up some pathways, regardless of political party, regardless of any of that. Especially here in New Hampshire, you have amazing elected officials on both sides of the aisle. A little crazy with the politics nationally, in case you haven't noticed, right? A little nuts now, right now, but it's okay. It's okay. Our institutions are so strong in America. Our process is fundamentally so good in America that it really always comes back to that individual and that next door that we can open to make your lives a little easier, a little more successful, and that next chapter a little bit brighter for you guys. Congratulations again.
We don't have some welcoming remarks from the President of the United States.
Welcome, my fellow Americans. First and foremost, I want to thank you for choosing us, believing that America is worthy of your aspirations. Every immigrant comes from America from different circumstances and for different reasons, but you all have one thing in common: courage. The courage it takes to sacrifice and make this journey. The courage to leave your homes, your lives, your loved ones, and come to a nation that is more than just a place, but rather an idea. An idea that where everyone is created equal and deserves to be treated equally. The idea that we have as a nation, and we can define America in one word: possibilities. Possibilities since its founding. That very idea has been nurtured, enriched, and advanced by the contributions, sacrifices, and dreams of immigrants like you, and immigrants like my own ancestors from Ireland, like generations of our fellow Americans. And today, you've earned a new title equal to that of an American president. The title I'm most proud of, citizen of the United States of America. I look forward to standing with you as you embrace your new rights and responsibilities, as you build your lives and legacies here, as generations have done before you in this great nation of immigrants. So welcome, my friends. Welcome, my fellow Americans. Welcome. May God bless you all, and may God bless the United States of America.
I would now like to invite everybody, all the participants in front, to join me as we present the certificates to you. Ms. Gagnon will read your names. Please come up when your name is read. Did we tell you this is the first time we've done this here?
Next shot.
The governor's rearranging furniture. Here we go. Good.
He's an
Okay.
engineer, if you didn't notice.
Ava, join us in one.
Danielle Marie Sanders. Henrik O'Neill McCullough. Maggie Yuke Lee. Diana Bonilla Lopez. Sylvia Calliope Bota. John Villegas. Anju Raya Majid.
Thank you.
Modesto Encarnacion Rivera. Kofi Kajo. Rebecca Aloku. Vanessa Orquera Marshall. Jose Ramirez Gonzalez. Maria Vorotnikova. Mikhail Vorotnikov. Maria Martinez Alviso. Rayon Felice Beltre.
Congratulations.
Santos Oriana Ramos.
Congratulations.
Ella Kaya. Anna Proud.
Congratulations.
Diana Said. Hernandez Curry. Anna Maria Muwange.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. The ceremony is over. You are welcome to take pictures by the flags if you'd like. Congratulations. And thank you all very much.